Senate will come to order. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Senators Baisley, Bridges, Buckner, Coleman, Cutter, Danielson, Exum, Fields,
She's right there.
Gardner, Janot, Gonzalez, Hanson, Hinrichsen, Jaquez Lewis, Kirkmeyer, Kolker, Liston, Lundin, Marchman, Moreno, Mullica, Pelton B, Pelton R, Priola, Rich, Roberts,
Absent.
Rodriguez, Simpson, Smallwood, Sullivan, Van Winkle, Will, Winter, Zenzinger, Roberts. Mr. President,
Here. The morning roll call is 35 present, 0 absent, 0 excused. We do have a quorum. Will the good senator from Avon please lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
Thank you, Mr. President. Members, please join me in the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Approval of the journal. Senator Liston.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. President, before I read the journal, I have a little bit of different way of doing things, if I may, if I can have your discretion. Would that be okay, Mr. President? Doesn't matter. I'm going to do it anyways. Okay.
We gotta approve the journal some way.
Okay. There once was a president from Boulder who was tired of the snow and getting much colder. As his hair grew more gray, what he was afraid to say is that this job is making me much older.
Hey, Zoe.
Very good, very good. And with that, I move that the Senate Journal of Friday, March 3rd, 2023 be approved as corrected by the Secretary, and there will be more and better limericks tomorrow.
You have heard the motion. All those in favor say aye. All those opposed, no. The ayes have it. That motion is adopted. Senate Services.
March 6, 2023, correctly printed, Senate Bills 176, 177, and 178, Senate Joint Memorial 3, correctly engrossed, Senate Bill 70, 74, 143, 146, and 152, correctly revised, House Bill 1021 and 1023, correctly re-revised, House Bills 1051 and 1101, correctly enrolled, Senate Joint Memorial 2.
Third reading of bills. Consent calendar. Will the clerk please read the titles to all of the bills on the third reading of bills consent calendar?
House Bill 1021, Representatives Snyder and Weinberg, Senators Van Winkle and Cutter, concerning the state licensing authority's ability to act regarding the movement of marijuana in certain circumstances to protect the public. House Bill 1023, Representatives Lindstedt and Wilson, Senators Robertson Gardner, concerning the dollar amount of a special district contract that requires notice for bids. Senate Bill 70, Senator Kolker, Representative Young, concerning mandatory annual training by Safe 2 for school resource officer training. Senate Bill 74, Senator Van Winkle and Janal, Representative Froelich and Doherty, concerning continuing human trafficking prevention training and in connection therewith implementing the recommendations contained in the 2022 Sunset Report by the Department of Regulatory Agencies. Senate Bill 143, Senators Fenberg and Van Winkle, Representative Kipp, concerning the administration of the existing retail delivery fees collected by the Department of Revenue and in connection therewith making and reducing an appropriation. Senate Bill 152, Senators Robertson, Pelton R., Representatives Holtorf and Young, concerning the continuation of the regulation of the custom processing of meat animals and in connection therewith implementing the recommendations in the 2022 Sunset Report by the Department of Regulatory Agencies.
Majority Leader Moreno.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move for the passage of all the bills on the third reading consent calendar, which includes House Bill 1021 and 1023 and Senate Bills 70, 74, 143, and 152.
Is there any discussion on any of the bills? Seeing none, the motion is the passage of all of the bills and the third reading of bills consent calendar. Are there any no votes on any of the bills? With a vote of 35 ayes, 0 noes, 0 absent, 0 excused, House Bill 1021 is passed. Co-sponsors. With a vote of 35 ayes, 0 noes, 0 absent, 0 excused, House Bill 1023 is passed. Co-sponsors. With a vote of 35 ayes, 0 noes, 0 absent, 0 excused, Senate Bill 70 is passed. Co-sponsors, Senators Janal, Sullivan, Winter, Henriksen, Marchman, Jaquez Lewis, Bridges, Majority Leader Moreno, Rodriguez, Fields, Priola, Buckner, Danielson, Cutter, Exum. Please add the president. With a vote of 35 ayes, 0 noes, 0 absent, 0 excused, Senate Bill 74 is passed. Co-sponsors. Senators Bridges, Winter, Kolker, Marchman, Priola, Cutter, Kirkmeyer, Gonzalez, Minority Leader Lundin, Exum, Pelton B., Roberts, Hanson, Rich, Gardner, Liston, Smallwood, Buckner, Will, please add the president. With a vote of 35 ayes, 0 noes, 0 absent, 0 excused, Senate Bill 143 is passed. Co-sponsors, Senators Simpson, Rich, Liston, Smallwood, Pelton R., Zenzinger, Kolker, Bridges, Jaquez Lewis, Rodriguez, Will, Priola, Henriksen, with a vote of 35 ayes, 0 noes, 0 absent, 0 excused, Senate Bill 152 is passed. Co-sponsors, Senators Janal, Pelton B., Simpson, Will, Colker, Marchman, Priola. Third reading of bills. Final passage. Will the clerk please read the title to Senate Bill 146?
Senate Bill 146, Senator Danielson and Representative English concerning updates to the Colorado State Apprenticeship Resource Directory. Oh. Senator Danielson, Representatives Leader and English concerning updates to the Colorado State Apprentice Resource Directory.
Senator Danielson.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move Senate Bill 146 on third reading and final passage.
Is there any discussion? Seeing none, the motion is the passage of Senate Bill 146. Are there any no votes? Senators Van Winkle, Will, Baisley, Rich, Gardner, Minority Leader Lundin, Smallwood, Kirkmeyer, Liston, Pelton B, Pelton R, Simpson. With a vote of 23 ayes, 12 noes, 0 absent, 0 excused, Senate Bill 146 is passed. Co-sponsors, Senators Gonzalez, Colker, Majority Leader Moreno, Exum, Janal, Jaquez Lewis, Mullica, Marchman, Fields, Henriksen, Sullivan, Cutter, Priola, Bridges, Buckner, Winter. General orders, second reading of bills, consent calendar. Senator Exum.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move that the Senate now resolve itself in the Committee of the Whole for consideration of general orders, second reading of bills, consent calendar.
You have heard the motion. All those in favor say aye. Opposed, no. The motion is adopted and the Senate will resolve itself into the Committee of the Whole for the consideration of the general order, second reading of bills, consent calendar, and Senator Exum will take the chair.
The committee will come to order and the court rule is relaxed. Will the clerk please read the title of all the bills on the general orders, second reading consent calendar?
House Bill 1123, Representatives Lindsay and Weinberg, Senators Bridges and Rich, concerning a requirement that motor vehicle drivers take certain actions to mitigate the risk their vehicles present to stationary vehicles on the road. House Bill 1145, Representatives Sherbini and English, Senators Fields and Exum, concerning juveniles ordered by a court to be detained in an adult facility while awaiting trial.
Majority Leader Moreno.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I move for the passage of all the bills listed on the second reading consent calendar, which includes House Bill 1123 and 1145. There are no committee reports.
Is there any discussion on any of the bills on the consent calendar? The motion before the body is adoption of all the bills on the general orders, second reading of bills, consent calendar. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed say no. Consent calendar is adopted. Majority Leader Moreno.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I move the committee rise and report.
Motion is the committee rise and report. All those in favor say aye. All opposed say no. The committee will rise and report.
The Senate will come to order. Senator Exum.
Lost my place. I lost my place. Thank you, Mr. President. Will the clerk please read the report?
Mr. President, your Committee of the Whole begs leave to report it has had under consideration the following attached bills, being the second reading thereof, and makes the following recommendations thereon. House Bill 1123, House Bill 1145, passed on second reading and ordered revised and placed on the calendar for third reading and final passage.
Senator Exum.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move to adopt the report.
The motion is the adoption of the Committee of the Whole report. Are there any no votes? With a vote of 35 ayes, 0 noes, 0 absent, 0 excused, the Committee of the Whole report is adopted. House Bill 1123, House Bill 1145 passed in second reading and order revised and placed on the calendar for third reading and final passage. Will the clerk please mark Senator Priola as excused? Majority Leader Moreno.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move to lay over Senate Bill 93 to Thursday, March 9th.
The motion is to lay over Senate Bill 93 until Thursday, March 8th, 9th. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed, no. The ayes have it. Sorry, Gardner. And Senate Bill 93 will be laid over until Thursday. General orders, second reading of bills. Senator Exum.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move that the Senate now resolve itself in Committee of the Whole for consideration of general orders, second reading of bills.
You have heard the motion. All those in favor say aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it, and the motion is adopted. The Senate will resolve itself into the Committee of the Whole for the consideration of the general orders, second reading of bills, and Senator Exum will take the chair.
The committee will come to order, and the court rule is relaxed. Will the clerk please read the title to House Bill 1134?
House Bill 1134, Representatives Joseph and Kipp, Senator Cutter, concerning mandatory provisions in home warranty service contracts and in connection therewith, requiring a home warranty service contract to include terms allowing a homeowner to replace any of certain gas-fueled devices with a device that operates on electricity or to receive an amount that is equivalent to the retail cash value of the gas-fueled device.
Senator Cutter,
Thank you, Mr. Chair. It's an honor to serve with you.
an honor to serve with you, too.
I would like to move House Bill 1134. So this bill
Okay.
will...
To the bill.
Oh, thank you. This bill will give homeowners with warranties the option to choose efficient electric home appliances. Many warranties now only allow someone to replace it with a gas appliance if that's what they had before, and we're simply requiring them to provide the option. The homeowner would actually pay the difference if it was a more expensive appliance. Just want them to have the choice. So I ask for your aye vote. And I'd like to, oh, hold on. Let me double check. It should be 10. Yeah, it's 10. It's 10. It is? Yeah, it's 10. Thank you.
Yes. Okay. There's an amendment at the desk.
Thank you.
Amendment L010.
Amendment
Will the
L010
clerk-
by
I'm
Senator...
sorry. Will the clerk please read Amendment L010?
Amendment L010, Senator Cutter, amend Reading Gross Bill, page 5, line 6 and 7, strike on and after January 1st, 2024, every year substitute 8, line 5, line 7
Thank you.
after contract.
Senator Cutter to Amendment L010.
Thank you. This amendment just clarifies some of the language. We added that it would be an option to clarify that. We moved the date slightly to make it easier for the warranty companies to accommodate and make some changes. And we clarified that, we clarified the cost piece. Homeowners cannot take cash payout. They have to receive an appliance at that value. So I ask for your support on I move Amendment L01 and ask for your support.
Thank you. Is there any further discussion on Amendment L010?
010.
Seeing none, the question before us is the adoption of Amendment L010. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say no. Thank you. Amendment L010 is adopted. Back to the bill. Senator Cutter.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. This is a pretty simple bill, again, just requiring companies to offer the option, not requiring them only at the consumer's request. So I ask for your support.
Thank you. Any further discussion? Yes. Senator Simpson.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you to the sponsors for bringing the bill forward. We heard it in Transportation and Energy a couple of weeks ago. And immediately when I read the description of the bill, it kind of raises some red flags about concerning mandatory provisions in home warranty service contracts and requiring a home warranty service contract to include options. Look, the options made sense, that folks that want to replace gas furnaces and appliances with electric, they should be afforded that opportunity. But mandating and requiring a private company, a service company, to do that raises red flags for me. That, you know, consumer demands and the marketplace should really drive this conversation. And if there's demand for this kind of service, the market will fill that demand. It's not necessary for us to craft legislation requiring private businesses and entities to do this. It should just follow from market forces. So I voted against it in committee and would encourage the body today to be opposed to the bill. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Any further discussion on House Bill 1134? Seeing none, the question before us is the adoption of House Bill 1134. All those in favor say aye. All opposed say no. No. Thank you. House Bill 1134 is adopted. Majority Leader Moreno.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I move the committee rise and report.
Question before us is the committee rise and report. All those in favor say aye. All opposed say no. The committee will rise and report.
The Senate will come to order. Senator Exum.
Thank you, Mr. President. The committee has met and had one bill under consideration. Will the clerk please read the report?
Mr. President, your committee of the whole begs leave to report it has had under consideration the following attached bills, being the second reading thereof, and makes the following recommendations thereon. House Bill 1134 is amended, passed on second reading, and ordered, revised, and placed on the calendar for third reading and final passage.
Senator Exum.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move that for the adoption of the report.
The motion is the adoption of the committee of the whole report. Are there any no votes? With a vote of 34 ayes, 0 noes, 0 absent, 1 excused, the committee of the whole report is adopted. House Bill 1134 is amended, passed on second reading, order revised, and placed on the calendar for third reading and final passage. Announcements. Senator Gonzalez.
Thank you, Mr. President. Colleagues, the Judiciary Committee will be meeting today at 1:30 p.m. in the Old Supreme Court. We will have two bills under consideration, the first being Senate Bill 88, the second being Senate Bill 109. We will see you there promptly.
Senator Pelton.
Thank you, Mr. President. First, tomorrow morning at 7:45 down in 109, we're going to have our weekly Bible study with Pastor Dan Fowle. Come down and feed your belly and then feed your soul.
Senator Pelton.
Thank you, Mr. President. I have another announcement. Tomorrow, from 10 to 1 in Lincoln Park, just west of the state capitol, join us for Tractor Day at the Capitol. A John Deere tractor is available to check out all the bells and whistles and talk to a technician that can show you and discuss with you all the different repairs available to owners and to show you the diagnosis tools that are also available around your questions with the right to repair. So with that, come see them tomorrow from 10 to 1 across the street. Thank you, Mr. President.
Senator Buckner.
Thank you, Mr. President. I have a couple of announcements. Education Committee will not meet today. We have no bills, but we will be meeting on Wednesday. Also, tomorrow, Colorado Women's Chamber will be in the basement from 8 o'clock until 9 o'clock in the morning, so please try to stop by to support the Women's Chamber.
Senator Fields.
Thank you, Mr. President, and good morning, colleagues. I'd like to take a moment of personal privilege.
Granted.
Thank you. Members, I have some special guests here from my district. I have members that are seated to the right of me who are leadership and staff and students from Concord Career College. And they're really on the forefront of addressing some of the shortages that we're currently seeing in healthcare today. They offer 9 medical specialty programs that range from nursing to respiratory therapy to dental assistance and more and more and more. There's a couple of members I'd like to introduce. I have the campus president, Dr. Thomas Wicke, if he could still please stand. Dr. Vanessa Davis Warner, who's the Director of Student Affairs, the Director of Nursing, Jeanette Rodriguez, Veronica Weaver, who is the Director of Medical Assistance, and then also we have Master Sergeant Shane Pearson, if he could please, as a military liaison to help get some of our veterans involved in healthcare. Please join me in welcoming them to the State Senate. Thank you, Mr. President.
Senator Will.
Thank you, Mr. President. I request a moment of personal privilege.
Granted.
Thank you. I just wanted to come up here and say that it's my wife's birthday today. So, and I'm getting it on film that I'm wishing her a happy birthday on the Senate floor. So, Susan, happy birthday. Love you. Thank you. I better sing to her too. May the dear Lord bless you, shower graces on you. May the dear Lord bless you, Susan. May the dear Lord bless you.
How romantic. Further announcements. Majority Leader Moreno.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move that the Senate recess until 11 a.m. today. Colleagues, you do not need to return. We're simply reading bills across the desk.
You have heard the motion. All those in favor say aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it, and the Senate will recess until 11 a.m. today.